Alright, welcome back to my YouTube channel, ladies and gentlemen. In today's video, we are focusing on a grade 12 question, which is interpenetration and development. Looking at our drawing, we are given the casting of an incomplete front view and the top view of a cylinder that has been shaped to fit around a regular pentagonal prism. Okay, meaning in this case, this is our main pipe and this is our branch pipe. Okay. The cylinder and the prism are solid, and the axis of the cylinder and the prism lie in a common vertical plane. The auxiliary view of the cylinder, and you're also given the position of point O on the drawing sheet. Instructions: you are instructed to draw to scale 1:1 the following views of the cylinder and the prism, which is the given top view, the complete front view showing the curve of interpenetration, the left view, and you need to develop the surface of the pentagonal prism showing the points of interpenetration using point A to B as the start position. Okay, point A and B, and you need to develop the surface of the cylinder using point S as the start position. You can see this already started for you. Okay, you must show all hidden detail and fold lines. Show all hidden detail and fold lines. And planning is very important, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so looking at our drawing, we are given a pentagonal prism, okay, with a starting position O. The first thing that you need to start with is your auxiliary view of a pentagonal prism. Okay, so coming here on my pentagonal prism, I constructed my horizontal line, which is this one, and then on that horizontal line I took my measuring ruler and then I measured 40 exactly. Okay, and then here on 20, which is half of 40, I constructed this center line perpendicular to this horizontal line. Okay, then on that side length of 40, which is I was given here, I always advise my student that whenever they are working with polygons, for them to know the angle that they are working with on that certain polygon, they have to say 360 divided by number of sides. Okay, and then in this case we are dealing with a polygon of 5 sides, which is a pentagon, and then 360 divided by 5, it will give us 72, which is an angle that we will work with here on our polygon. Okay, so now on my polygon here, you can see I constructed my horizontal line here, and then I measured 40 from here to here. This is my center line, and then on point E I place my protractor and then look for 72 on my protractor. Okay, don't make a mistake of having your 72 between 70 and 60, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure that your 72 is between 70 and 8, which is 70, 71, 72. I make a point there on 72, and then I join it with point E. Okay, then also come on this side, point A, look for 72 standing on point A, which is here. I make my point and then I join it with point A, and yeah, then with the same side length of 40, I construct an arc standing on point A, construct an arc standing on point E. Okay, then on these 2 points that I just constructed, I scribe an arc on the inside, also scribe an arc on the inside. You can see they meet my center line there. Okay, and then what I did, I placed my polygon inside a square box. Okay, on the outer point you can quickly construct the horizontal line on the top, construct your vertical line on this outer point, and then construct your vertical line also on the side. Then what you will need to do is you will need to label your polygon, which is B here, C, and D. This is E. Okay, then now after you have constructed your square, you will need to do something like this so that you can get your center of the square, and then the center of the square will also be the center of your, this will also be your center of your polygon. Okay, then also here, this is your half center. And then what you will need to do now, you will need to take this auxiliary view and feature it here on starting position O. Okay, so now what I have done here is that I have constructed my center line and also my horizontal center line here. Okay, meaning this horizontal center line is the same as this one, and this vertical center line, it is the same as this one. Okay, so what I will need to do now, I will need to take my measurement from O, which is here, a measurement from O to C, then measurement from O to C. Okay, then I label my point C. Okay, then now I will need to take this measurement from O to our construction line where we started, from O to this line, and then I can quickly construct my horizontal line. Horizontal line using construction line. Okay, so what I will need to do now is that I will need to measure my 40 from this construction line, which is going to be from 20 going to the left side and 20 going to the right side, which is here. Okay, and then now I will need to measure from here until here. Okay, so that I can get my outer point, and also from here to here so that I can get this outer point. Okay, from my center line to this outer point is 30, this is 32, so I will need to come here and measure. Yeah, it's 32, so coming here you measure 32, this is 32, and also this side is 32. Okay, then I can quickly construct my vertical line there. And then on this vertical line, I am able to find these 2 points here, which is B and D. Okay, so now I can quickly take a distance from here to that point, which is D, and I know that the distance from here and here, it is the same. So coming here, I'm constructing my point, and also on this side, this is my point. Okay, so now I have all my points, which is A, B, C, D, and E. Okay, so I can quickly combine all my points with a solid line. Okay, can quickly combine all these points. Okay, so now I have got this is my polygon. Okay, and then now I see that we are given a cylinder of diameter 50. Okay, and since I have my center line here, I will have to create my XY lines. Okay, let me start with my XY lines. Any distance away from your top view can start with your XY line. Okay, this is my XY line. And also any distance away from your top view here, you can construct your vertical XY line. Okay, then this is X, Y, X, Y. Okay, and then now quickly use my 45 set square. Okay, and the reason I'm using my 45 set square is because I want to align my views properly. So what I will need to do now is that I will need to take the center line to this 45 angle. Okay, then take all these points, transfer them to my 45, and then also this one. Okay, this one is already there. Then the one thing that is left of me is take all these points and construct them vertically upwards. Okay, need to construct them. Also this center line, because it is going to help me. Okay. So now, on my front view, I'm given a height of 62, which is here from my XY. So on my XY, I will need to measure 62 from my XY. 760, this is 62, okay. Can extend my line until there. 62. Okay. And then since well this is my height, okay, I'm allowed to do this because this height will also be on our front view. Okay. And then now half of 62, this is where my center, my other horizontal center will be. Okay. Then half of 62 is 31. So coming on this line, can measure my 31 there. Okay. And then on that 31, I can construct my horizontal center line, which is okay. That's how I got my center line. And then on this center line, that's where I can construct my auxiliary view for this cylinder, because however, looking from this side, we are going to see that cylinder, okay, with a diameter of 50. Okay, so coming here on my T-square, I can measure 25. This is 25. Okay, then standing here on my center, can quickly construct my cylinder with a diameter of 50. Okay, now I am done. What I will need to do now, I will need to complete this is my left view. Okay, this is what I will need to do. I will need to complete this left view with a solid line. The top, we already have a solid line. We also need a solid line on this side. Okay, and then looking from this side, this line will be solid until here, and then it will also be solid from here until here. Okay, so it can be solid and it can also be solid. And then what we need to do now, we need to label our polygon. Okay, labeling our polygon, this is point C, B and D here, and then this one is A and E. You can see this one is A, E, A, E. And every time when we are dealing with a cylinder, we need to divide our circle into 12 equal parts. Okay, I don't know which method you are using to divide your circle, but you can use your 30 by 60 set square if you don't have a compass. Okay, you can use your 30 by 60 set square. Then you need to divide your circle into 12 equal parts, ladies and gentlemen. Not 6, not 10. Okay. And then because here it is labeled S, meaning the starting position here, it will be S, S1, S2, S3, 4, 5. It will be 6, S7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then we are done. Okay, so what we need to do, we also need to construct our lines from our top view so that we get our our front view. Okay, and yeah, this is B. So now here we will have D and D. Here we'll have E. You already have C here. This will also be C, because C coming from this side, it will be hidden detail. Okay, you'll never be able to see this one. Then A will be a solid line and also B. Okay, so let's finish with those ones. A solid line here, also a solid line here. Okay, and then also A solid line there, and B will be a solid line. Okay, so now they give us a distance from our center line to the outer line, which is where our cylinder is starting to interpenetrate, okay, which is 44. So from here, somewhere out there, we will need to measure 44. Okay, come here in a measuring ruler. This is your 44, and then this is your 0. Okay, and then where you made your point, you can quickly construct your line like this. Okay, and then this outer point will be this outer point here, as you can see. Okay, so you will need to construct your point to the left, and then also this one. But because you are also going to need some of the points, you also need to construct them just to save time. Okay, and then every time we are always labeling, ladies and gentlemen. Every time when we are dealing with solids, we label all our points. Okay, coming on this side, we have S6 here, and then here we have 7 and 5, which is S7, 5. Here we have 8 and 4, S8, 4. Here we have S9 and S3, 9, 3. Okay, and on this line we have S2 and 10, S10, 2. Here we have S1 and 11, S1, 11, and then here we have S. Okay, so now we can use our solid line from here, also on this side here, and we can quickly, then can finish off our pentagonal prism with a solid line until there, also here at the bottom until here. Not forgetting to label our points. Okay, this is A and this is A. Also coming here on our top view, we will need to feature our cylinder. Okay, constructing first this outer point. Okay, then coming here on this one. As you can see, they are on the same line. Also these ones, they are on the same line. This one's also on the same line. And then lastly, this one's on the same line. Okay, this one you have already constructed it with a center line. Okay, and then all these lines that we just constructed now, you will need to construct them back to our top view. Okay, here, then also here. Okay, then also this one. We have another one here. Also have another one here. And then the last one here. Okay, labeling all our points. This is S9. You can start S9 here. Then here we have S10 and S8. Okay, on this line we have S10, 8. Then on this one you have S11 and S7. Okay, On this line we have S11 and 7. On the center line we have S and S6, which is S, let's say this is S0 and S6. Okay, and then this one is S1 and S5. S1, 5, S2 and S4 on this line, S2, 4, and the last one is S3. Okay, then because our cylinder is ending here, we can construct our lines to there. Okay, and then finish off our top view with a solid line. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so now one thing that we will need to do, okay, let's also make these ones to be solid so that we can see clearly on what we are dealing with here. Okay, because I highly doubt you will see my construction lines. Yeah, so one thing that you need to complete now, since we are done with our left view, we are done with our front view, before we can move to our development, we need to complete our incomplete front view. Okay, so one thing that we will need to check, how long is our cylinder interpenetrating to a pentagonal prism. Okay, until where? Okay, so starting here at point S, okay, we are running clockwise. Okay, starting at point S, we are going to point S1, S2, S3, S4 until we reach again at point S. Okay, so one thing that you need to do, you need to align your numbers correctly. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, hence I advise you to label in the beginning. Okay, so here on our point S, which is interpenetrating from here until here. Okay, until where it interpenetrates, we will need to construct a line going to the top, and then where it meets our line S again, this will be a point. And remember, this is not only point S, this is S and S6 on this line. Okay, meaning also S6 is interpenetrating until here. Okay, you can use your solid line until that point, and then you can also use your solid line until that point, which is S. And then coming on S1 is here. Okay, we need to construct a line from where is interpenetrating, which is here, to the top, and look for S1 and 5, because this is two numbers. We also need to look for two numbers until here. Okay, 1 and 5, this is 1 interpenetrating here, and then 5 is interpenetrating here. You can see. And then you need to look for S2. S2 is here, and then until where is interpenetrating, you need to construct your line again to the top side using the same method. This is 2 and 4. You come on your front view, you look for 2 and 4. This is 2, it's interpenetrating here. This is 2, this is 2, and then this is 4. Okay, and then this last one is 3. Okay, you do each and every point step by step. Okay, and then looking at S3 is here, and then 3 is here. Okay, this is 3 also. And on this line, our last point, looking at our front, it will be this one. Okay, and then all these points, you can quickly join them with your flexi curve, or you can use your freehand. Okay, if you don't know freehand, look for a flexi curve so that you can construct your circle nicely. So, and then you can use your solid line. Okay, and then from S6, since we have also S6, which is here, from S6, before going to S7, we come across this line, which is line B and D. Okay, Remember, S6 is at the bottom of this, before this line B, which is here. This at the bottom. So let's finish this one first. This is B interpenetrating until there, and then also at the top it is interpenetrating until there. Okay, and then from S6, which is here, S6 going to S7, we can't move to S7 straight. We will need to move to point to line B, which is here, and then you come to 7. This is 6, point B, and then 7. Okay, come on your left, construct a line going to your left, and then from this one you need to look for line B. Where's line B on our front view? This is line B. Okay, it is interpenetrating until here. Right, and then from here we can use our hidden detail, because looking on this side, from S0 and S6 going that side, all those points will be hidden details because they are at the back. Okay, you will never be able to see some of those points. So from here to S6 it will be hidden detail. Okay, and then from here, that's when you can go to S7, which is S7 is here. Okay, also coming on that point, constructing it to your top side, which is here, looking for 7. 7 is on this line. This is 7. 7 is on this line, meaning here. Here it will be our point. It will be your point. Okay, and then also 11. 11 also on this line. Where so 11? 11 is here, and then here it will also be your point. Okay, then from 7 you now go to 8, which is 7, 8. Coming here, construct your line, you look for 8. 8 is here. This will be a point, and then also you look for 10. You see there, it is 10, and then 10 is here. Okay, then now the last one is S9. S9 is here. This will be your point, meaning from 7 you can use your hidden detail lines moving to the other points. Okay, also moving to this point, and here's the catch. Before you reach to, this is S11, right? Before you reach to S again, you come across line B. As you can see, it is a solid line here. So before you reach to this point, which is S, you will need to come on line B. Meaning here on line B, where it touches your cylinder on your left, which is here, you can come with your hidden details until here. Okay, and then from here B, which is B, you can now move to S, which is here. Okay, then you can quickly again move with your hidden details until there. Okay, then that's it for today. And then one thing that you need to do, you need to develop the surface of the pentagonal prism, showing the point of interpenetration. Okay, so one thing you need to understand is that when you are dealing with development, you will need to use your true length. And then where do we get our true length? We get our true length from our top view. Okay, and then now we said we must develop the surface of the pentagonal prism showing the point of interpenetration using point A to B as the start position. Okay, and then from A to B, since well this side length is 40, I will need to take that 40, and then as you can see they are all equal. Okay, so I can move from A, this is my B, then from B I construct my C, from C this is my D, from D this is my E, and then from E I can then construct again my A. Okay, not forgetting to label all my points, which is B here, This is C, D, E, and A again. Okay. And then on those lines, what you will need to do is that you will need to do your vertical constructions. Because remember, a pentagonal prism, it has a height of 62. Okay, so you will need to finish your development, closing at the top with a height of 62. Okay, from here the base again to the top is 62. Coming to our measuring ruler, looking for 62 here. It is 60, 61, 62. This is 60, 62 is here. Okay. Then I can use my solid lines again on this outer lines. Okay. So now I will need to determine the points of interpenetration from A to B and from B to C. As you can see, that cylinder is interpenetrating between A and B to C, meaning C to D there's nothing and D to E there's nothing, also E to A. Okay, so now I can use my solid lines here because I know that from E to A there is nothing, also from D to E there is also nothing, and C to D there is nothing. Okay, meaning my points of interpenetration lie between A and B to C. Okay, so one thing that I need you guys to understand is that we need to start at A, and before we reach point B, we come across 1, 2, 3, 4 points, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we will need to take those measurements. Okay, you can use your compass or you can use your ruler here. Okay, so coming here, we will need to take the distance from here to this point, and then we'll also need to take a distance from here to this point, from here also to this point, from here also to this point, so that we can determine the point of interpenetration. Okay, so from here to here is this distance, which is from A. Okay, we are approaching B. You can see I've made my point, and then on that point I can quickly construct my vertical line using my construction line. I'm not using my solid line. Okay, and then on this point you can see that this is the first point, meaning on this point I'm going to fetch this point because it is in the same line with this one here, which is S3. Coming on my front view, I'm in my left view, taking S3 and then approaching B. This is the first point I get, which is S3. You see, and then coming on this second line, I will need to take a measurement from A to that point, from A again to this point. Okay, and then on that point I construct my vertical construction. This is my vertical construction line. Okay, and then on this line I have 2 points, which is this point and this point. Okay, so on this line I need 2 points. Standing here on my XY line, first point here, this is my first point. Then again here on my XY line, this is my second point. Okay, and then on this one I will also need to take a measurement from A, because I said when we are developing the surface of the pentagonal prism or any other polygon, we use only the true length. Okay, then also from A approaching B. Then construct your line vertically upwards, and then on that line, which is this one, you have 2 points again, which is this one and that one. Okay, because those are points of interpenetration. That's what is needed now. This is the first one, coming on this one, having this one here, and also standing on XY line, fetching that point S1 there, coming again on this line, fetching point 1. Okay, and then since now we are done with these 3 points, we also need this one here. Okay, need to take a measurement from A, approaching B. You come across this point before you approach B. Okay, this is B. Okay, then if you check here on our development, then here we also construct a vertical line going upwards as our construction line, and then on this line we have 2 points, which is S0 and S6. Okay, take a measurement from here at the bottom to S6, which is this one, and you feature it here. Okay, and then also from here on your XY line, you extend your compass to S0. So again, coming on this line, this is your another point. Okay, then moving back, now we are on this line, which is this point. Now you can go to B. Okay, this is B. That's when you can come to B now. Okay, and then from B we have 1, 2, 3 points before C, so we will need to take this distance from B to this first line, which is this distance. If you take from B approaching C. Okay, and then on that line we construct our line vertically, so, and then on this line again we have 2 points, which is this point and this point. Okay, so you need to take a measurement from here to here. Okay, if you check on this point, on this line we did here, this is a point, and then also again on this you have also again on this line. You can see I am working with this line only. Okay, one line at a time, one line at a time, and then this is 11. Okay, coming again on this point, this is 11. Okay, and then here at B we forgot to put in the height here. Here at B, this is from B, because we are here. B, we come at B, we feature in that distance here, and then also at B to that distance of B there, on the same line, ladies and gentlemen. Then if you check here at B. Okay, since all we are done with this one, we come on this one. Okay, on our base we measure distance from B to that second line, which is here, then coming here B on this second line here, and on this second line you can see we have 2 points, which is 8 and 10. Okay, standing on my XY line, coming with S8. Okay, I forgot to construct my line vertically upwards on this line. This is 8, and then also coming here on this line with point 10. This is S10. S10 is here. Okay, then also the last point is S9. I will need to take a distance from B approaching C. I have this one, which is 9, and from B approaching C, and then I construct my line vertically, so, and then from my XY again, standing here I'm fetching point 9. This is my point 9 here. You can see. So now I will need to join all these points with my free hand. Okay, you can use your flexi curve, ladies and gentlemen. It's your choice. Okay, and then that's when you can use your solid line then. Okay, then you can use your fold line here at B from here until here, also until here. Since now we are done only with our development of the surface of pentagonal prism, we will also need to develop the surface of our cylinder. Okay, and then every time when we are working with a cylinder, we will need to use this method, pi times diameter. Okay, pi times diameter, because we are given a diameter of 50, we'll say pi times 50, and then whatever distance that we get here, it will be our length from S until somewhere here. Okay, so you can do that on your calculator. Pi 142 times 50, so 157,1. Okay, so 157,1 from here, 0, it will be, okay, let me first erase this line here, because it is going to disturb. So coming with my measuring ruler, 157, it will be here on 15, 15,7 here. Okay, 15. Then one thing that I will need to do now is that I will need to divide my line segment into 12 equal parts. Okay, so at any angle, you can divide this line into 12 equal parts. You can divide with your compass. Okay, any distance here on your compass, and then starting at S is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. 12, which is the last point, it is the one that you are going to combine it with this. Okay, and then parallel to this line here, you can divide your line segment like this. And then once you are done dividing your line segment, you can construct your horizontal lines. Okay, from exactly where this line touches this vertical line here, construct your lines horizontally. So construct your lines, and not forgetting to label your lines, because it will be very important for you to label all your lines. Okay, and then now you can say this is S1, S2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and again S. Okay, so now here at S is interpenetrating from here until here. Okay, so we will need to take that measurement of S, which is here. It's interpenetrating from here until here. Okay, then coming on S, we measure that distance. This is S, and again, not forgetting we have another S here. Okay, and then from S we go to 1, 2, 3 until again we reach S, which is from here we coming again here. Okay, from S we go to 1. Where is 1? 1 is here. 1 is interpenetrating from here until here, and also 5. Okay, 1 and 5 are interpenetrating from here until here. Okay, I'm coming here. This is 1 and 5. Okay, I'm coming here to 1. I'm also going at 5. Okay, just to be quick, because this thing of taking points one by one will waste so much time. Okay, this is 1 and 5, and then here is 2 and 4. 2 and 4 is interpenetrating until here. So coming here, I'm looking for 2, and also coming here at 4. Okay, then 3 is the last one that is interpenetrating until here. Just 3 is here. Okay, and then we are done with this 6 point, which is S6. And then from S6, before we reach point S7, we have line B here. As you can see, from 6, before we go to 7, we have B. Okay, we will need to feature B. Okay, meaning we need to take a distance from here until here. Okay, which is from here. Remember, I said our true length, we get them on our top view. Okay, so from 6 approaching 7, we have B there. Then parallel to these lines, we can construct B here, and then B is interpenetrating from here until here, which is from here until here. This is B on this line until here. Okay, so on this line, from here until here. Okay, which is here. Okay, then from here B, that's when you can go to 7, which is 7 is here. Okay, 7 is interpenetrating from here to here. So now you are looking for 7 and 11. Okay, so coming here we have 7, and we also go to 11. Okay, and then this one is line 10 and 8, which is interpenetrating until here, as you can see. And then come here, look for 8 and 10. This is 8, and then we have also 10, and then the last one is 9, interpenetrating from here until here. Coming here, look for 9. Okay, and then one thing that you need to do is that before don't forget that before coming to S again, moving from S11 to S, we have line B again. Okay, so between this distance here, we need to feature again B, which is from 11 until S. Okay, S0, which is this distance from here until here. Okay, just we can feature it. Okay, and then from 11 reaching S, then what you can do, you can construct your line horizontally, so, and then what you can do now is that you can take this measurement here. No, coming here, B is interpenetrating from here until here on this line. Coming on this line here, the second one from the top going to B. Okay, second one going from the top going to B, coming to feature it here. Okay, so now since you have all your points, this one you can construct it with your set square, and then also this one going to be okay, and then this other ones, because this thing is a cylinder, you can use your freehand or your flexi curve. Okay, you can use your flexi curve to combine all these points. Okay, now I'm using my freehand. Then you can quickly use this solid lines there. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of today's video. Okay, and please, if you found this video very helpful for you, don't forget to share, and please don't forget to subscribe. Okay, thanks for taking your time to watch this video once again.